With the impending hype Fallout 4 is bringing, I thought it'd be best to help ease your pain with a good Fallout fix I think you will all enjoy. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what I'm about to talk about here, a machinima is simply an in-game film or animated film in general. Obviously, we'll be covering the Fallout list today, which really have some golden titles I'll be discussing. Just to let you know, this is the farthest thing from my first impression. I've probably rewatched each one of these more than 5 times. Yes, they're that good to me. So, without further ado, let's break down my top 5 personal favorite Fallout Machinima. Number 5, Wasteland Survival. Now, I'm sure if you're familiar with the Gamer Poop series, you know it was made by a guy named Manslayer. Well, if we go back a little, you notice he had a little series sponsored by Machinima called Wasteland Survival. Simply put, the series follows the lone wanderer exploring various key points of the DC Wasteland, like the Dunwich Building, Vault 87, Point Lookout, and Springvale Elementary.
Look where the fuck I want to look. What are you gonna do about it?
Not such a badass now.
If you've seen it before, you probably already know it's a horror-based series with all kinds of wasteland gore and jump scares. Manslayer clearly wanted to portray the wasteland for what it really was, and he delivered if you ask me. The series really represents what the meaning of the wasteland is: kill or be killed and survival of the fittest. Now, you may not be able to enjoy the first episode, it's without a doubt just a pilot to get a feel on what the series would bring. And production value isn't what I mean, it's mainly the overuse of jump scare attempts, but I can't give you a full-on behind-the-scenes story to tell you all about it, unfortunately. Anyway, the series is fantastic and really went far despite it only having 5 episodes, but I can happily rewatch them anytime. Number 4, Wasteland Travels. Made by Blah45, Wasteland Travels follows a man in his Wasteland Travels, of course. We're introduced to a boy that lives alone with his dad. Things happen, leaving the boy alone in the waste to fend for himself. The series follows this traveler across various locations in the capital Wasteland that will later tie into a mysterious and sinister story, but I'll leave it at that. But seriously, I have never seen such a great homemade fan film grow from a simple concept to an in-depth and immersive story with just as memorable characters. I say this because you'll see a huge difference between the first half of the series and the second half. The creator improved greatly from its more standard vanilla third and first person filming to intense camera angles, beautiful enhancement mods, and just general cinematics. I've seen scattered recommendations to just skip to episode 8, The Caravan, but that's optional if you don't want to watch the first half. It just depends on what you want out of production value. A unique feature of Wasteland Travels is that each character is voiced by pre-recorded Fallout voice files, simply taken from the game, making it just as immersive as if it were actually voiced. Speaking of Blah45, he even works for Shoddycast, creators of series like the Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Witcher lore. So hats off to you, Blah45, and be sure to check out his Fallout Machinima tutorial. It's the best and probably only out there. The link will be in the description.
Holy shit! Oh my god! Ah!
Number 3, Rebirth. Now before I get into this, let me tell you a little something about this machinima. Rebirth is a completely different animal compared to the other mentioned films. I say that because Rebirth is more of a drama than an action-packed, blood and gore-filled machinima series. So here's the rundown on Rebirth. We have a little girl known as Little Miss living in a private underground vault granted by her long-gone parents, only to be raised and taken care of by robots. Little Miss, the free-spirited girl she is, quickly becomes bored with vault life and sabotages her way into the wasteland. Now, I can't tell you everything, but her journey does become much more important than she thought. This series is very well thought out with a wonderful script and could possibly tug on your heartstrings a bit. It's mildly depressing as it's mildly funny, a great balance.
Where are you going?
Lunch.
It's only 10:31.
I plan to nap most of the day, then wake up at about 5 and be very cranky.
I sincerely hope the human that did not enable me with the ability to self-terminate is burning in hell right now.
A good bit of mystery shrouds the show, hopefully getting you to wonder what happens next. The atmosphere is perfectly captured, but the only thing that has me wondering is why the Enclave has such a tight grip on the wasteland in this show. You hear soldiers talk about curfew and all kinds of rules, along with this mysterious item known as the third key the Wasteland so desperately needs. So hopefully, we'll get answers if the creator, Anarchist86ED, can get voice actors and donations on his Patreon page. The link will be in the description. I can't bear the thought of this last surviving series dying out even before it continues. If all goes well, the next part should be out by fall of this year.
For the Brotherhood.
Number 2, Born of Steel, created by Youngie761. If you're a Brotherhood of Steel lover, then let me direct you to this killer machinima. Born of Steel firstly introduces us to a massive Brotherhood super mutant raid on the DC capital, led by a Commander Mikhail. His objective is to install a satellite uplink that will initiate an orbital strike on the mutants, but things take a turn. A nimble Brotherhood of Steel agent named Marla Rayfield soon takes over the narrative. With her parents brutally killed by the Enclave and left for dead as a child, she is soon taken under the wing of the Brotherhood. The rest is for you to find out. After watching it 1 billion times, I think it's safe to say this is a perfectly paced machinima. It has a great balance of action and overall storytelling. As the series came to a close, it looked as if our creator had future plans for Born of Steel's finale with a very small teaser. Sadly enough, the description read that it was planned to be finished by early 2013, but who knows, maybe we'll get surprised.
Sir, should I use the flash? Sir? Take him out!
Number 1, the DC Chronicles. If you're a Fallout fan, or just a fan of all things awesome in general, this is a must-watch. Now, if you're a Fallout fan, there's a large chance you've seen this, but if you haven't, you're missing out on one of the most incredible stories ever played out in a machinima. Made by Dracortha, we have British Vault 101 security guard Andrew Grafton headed out into the unforgiving wastes to recover a water chip for Vault 101's slowly dying water supply. Instantly, we're thrown into a deadly super mutant battle followed up to a ghoul attack, a slaver raid, and a creepy trip to the metros. And that's only the beginning, really. There's really nothing more I can tell you, other than to just watch it. If you're looking for a true depiction of the Capital Wasteland and possible nostalgia to the original 2 Fallouts, the DC Chronicles is definitely for you. There's been looming questions if there's ever going to be a part 2 to the series, but Dracortha has stated he doesn't really know where to go from the ending, but it's not forgotten.
Fuck this.
And those are currently my top 5 favorite machinima. The links will be in the description, and I highly urge you to check them out because they deserve twice as many views than they already do. This is all Fallout. Thanks for watching.